Los Angeles, August 2024. Inside PlayStation's biggest studios, there's a quiet confidence. Sony is about to launch the game it believes will define the next decade of online gaming. It's called Conquered, 16 playable mercenaries, a 5-year universe built around them, 8 years in development, hundreds of millions of dollars spent. The project began years earlier, quietly, as a smaller experiment, but somewhere along the way, it grew into something much bigger, a flagship. Sony bought the studio behind it, Firewalk, outright in 2023. They weren't just publishing this game anymore, they were betting the house on it. By then, the hero shooter genre had already been claimed. Overwatch had defined it years earlier. Valorant had taken the competitive crown. Both were free to play, both had millions of loyal players, and both had years of content built up behind them. Concord was arriving late to a party that already had a host. Months before launch, the world gets its first real look. A cinematic trailer drops on YouTube. The internet responds immediately and brutally. The dislikes pour in. Within days, roughly 85% of the reactions are negative. Comment sections fill with the same words over and over. Generic, soulless, dead on arrival. Strangers who have never played the game are already writing its obituary. Inside the studio, leadership faces a choice. Months remain before launch. There's still time to delay, to rework the price, to answer what the entire internet is screaming at them for free. Former employees later describe a culture of what they call toxic positivity, a workplace where raising doubts wasn't welcome, where leadership genuinely believed this game could not fail. Concerns got smoothed over, red flags got reframed as noise, and so Sony and Firewalk's leadership make the one decision that seals everything that follows: change nothing. Keep the date, keep the price. Concord launches exactly as planned on August 23, 2024, priced at $40 unchanged. Here's the part that should have stopped everyone in that room. Concord isn't entering an empty market. It's stepping into a battlefield already ruled by Overwatch 2 and Valorant, 2 hero shooters players can download and play for free. Sony is asking people to pay full price for a genre everyone else gives away. The math never made sense. And the players had already told them so months earlier, in the comments section. Launch day arrives. The numbers come in, and they are catastrophic. At its peak, Concord draws roughly 700 concurrent players on Steam. Not thousands, not tens of thousands, 700 for a game that cost a fortune to build. Within a week, that number collapses to 162. Total sales across every platform land somewhere around 25,000 copies. For a title projected to compete with the biggest names in gaming, it's a rounding error. 14 days. That's how long Sony gives it. On September 6, 2024, Concord is pulled from sale entirely. Every copy gets refunded. The servers, built to host a 5-year universe, go dark for good. It becomes the second shortest-lived online game in history, beaten only by a title that lasted 8 days. 2 months later, on October 29th, Sony closes Firewalk Studios completely. Everyone who spent years building this world loses their job for a game that never had a chance to prove itself past its own launch week. The final price tag on this failure is still debated. Some reports put development costs as high as $400 million. Industry insiders call that figure exaggerated. What isn't debated is this: however much it cost, almost none of it came back. What makes Concord different from most gaming collapses isn't the money lost. It's the decision itself, the one made quietly in the months before launch to change absolutely nothing. This wasn't a slow, invisible decline that caught everyone off guard. The internet told Sony exactly what was coming, in plain language, months before a single copy shipped. 85% of the room was already booing before the show even started. Leadership heard that and chose the date and the price over the warning. That single choice is what turned a rocky reveal into a corporate catastrophe. Not the game itself, not the market. The decision to proceed exactly as planned, with the loudest warning in gaming history sitting in plain sight. 14 days later, the servers went dark. 2 months later, so did the studio. Everyone who built this world lost their job for a choice made by the people above them to not listen. Somewhere in Los Angeles, there's still a 5-year roadmap for a universe that lasted 14 days. All of it built on one decision, that the loudest warning in the industry didn't apply to them. And that's how one bad decision changed everything.